Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff's ex-coach breaks silence on Ben Shelton's Canadian Open controversy. The heat is surely turning on ahead of the US Open. Top male players across the globe are in Toronto to participate in the Canadian Open. However, one player is definitely catching the eyes of the tennis world. He is none other than Ben Shelton, who is looking to have a fruitful US Open swing after showing a lot of promise earlier this season. With Shelton's enthusiasm and determination reaching sky-high, he was involved in a controversial moment at the tournament yesterday. Amid this, Shelton received the backing of Coco Gauff's ex-coach, Brad Gilbert. In what was a keenly contested encounter, it went into the final set tiebreaker. However, toward the closing stages of the match, Coulibaly made a gesture that made Shelton unhappy. The American sensation made his feelings felt and had a cold handshake with his Italian opponent at the net. Despite facing massive criticism for it, Shelton found support in the form of Gilbert. Taking to his official X handle, Gilbert wrote, "I've watched a few videos online, doesn't look like that much between Gimme Shelton and Coulibaly, obviously very tight match in the heat of the moment." The legendary coach completely downplayed the controversy and explained that the match was closely contested and hence such a moment had taken place. Nonetheless, it was all within the boundary and no further action was taken in this regard. Interestingly, Shelton also downplayed the incident and maintained that all was well between him and Coulibaly. It was a sort of misunderstanding that the two players cleared later. He made a gesture in the tiebreak and I asked him about it. He said it wasn't directed at me, so all good, Shelton revealed during the post-match interview as he advanced to the quarterfinals of the tournament after defeating Coulibaly. Amid this controversy, Shelton praised his opponent for putting on a great show in the pre-quarterfinal battle. The American sensation also explained how the two cleared the air surrounding their misunderstanding. Ben Shelton plays down the Canadian Open controversy. The 22-year-old has had a tough going so far at the Canadian Open. Although he advanced to the last 8, Shelton has had to fight his way through this stage. While he began his campaign here with a straight-set win, Shelton took 3 sets to defeat Brandon Nakashima in the round of 32. Subsequently, against Coulibaly as well, Shelton had to dig deep to pick out the win. Nonetheless, he had a contented look after getting past his Italian opponent. After the match, Shelton said, "Yeah, I think I was really mentally tough tonight. I gotta give credit to Flavio. He did a lot of things throughout the match that made it difficult. I thought he played very well. He's really fast, neutralizes a lot of things that I do well, and that's always a tough matchup for me, so just happy to come through it. We're good. We talked about it in the locker room, so I'm not going to answer any more questions about that. There's no story, we're good, that's it, so thanks." Shelton will next face Alex de Minaur in the last 8. The Australian star is coming off winning the City Open title, and it promises to be an exciting clash ahead. When the calm voice speaks, Brad Gilbert weighs in on Shelton-Coulibaly clash. It was August 3, 2025, a sun-blasted afternoon in Toronto at the Canadian Open, where Ben Shelton finally clinched a draining 4th-round match over Italy's Flavio Coulibaly in a tiebreak. But what dominated the headlines wasn't the sparkling serve or the nervy final point. It was a tense, heated exchange at the net that followed, captured in grainy clips, overheard in the stadium, and dissected around the world. Strike 1 wasn't in Coulibaly's footwork. Strike 2 wasn't in Shelton's serve speed. It was the moment they stood face-to-face, words sharp, tension palpable. After 3 hours of attritional tennis, and just after a sudden, expressive gesture from Coulibaly during the tiebreak. Shelton bristled. Coulibaly insisted it wasn't personal. The media pounced. The tennis world held its breath. Only one person who stepped forward publicly to offer calm, measured commentary. Brad Gilbert, former coach to Coco Gauff and longtime sharp-tuned tennis strategist. His perspective? That even in a charged moment, players are human, capable of intensity without animus. From Gauff's mentor to tennis's conscience. Gilbert, once world number 4 and a storied coach, had parted ways with Goff in September 2024 after helping guide her to her maiden Grand Slam at the 2023 US Open and other major deep runs, including semifinals at the Australian and French Opens. Reddit. +15. Reuters. +15. PFSN. +15. PFSN. Though their partnership eventually ran its course, Gilbert remains a respected voice, insightful, blunt but fair, and keenly aware of tennis's emotional undercurrents. That is why his measured take on the Shelton-Coulibaly episode resonated. Via X, formerly Twitter, he described the match as the real headline. "I've watched a few videos online, doesn't look guys like that much between Gimme Shelton and Coulibaly. Obviously, very tight match in the heat fire of the moment," he wrote. PFSN. In other words, tension doesn't mean conflict. High stakes don't necessarily breed hostility. Sometimes, a gesture misread in the cauldron of match intensity is exactly that. Misinterpreted heat, not hate. The disputed moment, gesture, exchange, resolution. According to official match reports and post-match interviews, Shelton won the first set 6-4, Coulibaly retaliated and leveled at 6-4, and the final tiebreak was 7-6-1 in Shelton's favor. During the tiebreak, Coulibaly made a gesture, possibly frustration, possibly something else, that Shelton interpreted as directed at him. As Shelton himself later described during the post-match interview, "He just made a gesture in the tiebreaker, and I asked him about it. He said it wasn't towards me, so we're cool." PFSN. Coulibaly echoed that in a sideline comment. "You deserve to win this match. I did not want to fight with you. If I do something with you, it's not always with you. You understand me?" PFSN. They spoke. They shook hands. Shelton proceeded onward to his scheduled match against Alex de Minaur, while Coulibaly faded from the headlines. Gilbert's voice. Perspective over heat. What makes Gilbert's commentary significant isn't just that he commented, but how he framed it. He pointed out that what looked like drama on social media and in editorial headlines was likely just a byproduct of competition. In tennis, where emotion often lies just beneath immaculate facades, tension is normal. Frustration, raw emotion, interpretive eye rolls or gestures, all common in a 3-hour duel. Gilbert, ever the tactician, reframed the moment as what it probably was. Drama about drama, not drama and drama. Why an ex-coach weighs in on someone else's moment. Gilbert's relevance to the story springs from more than just ex-Coco Gauff connections. For years, he's built a reputation as a tennis thinker, one who advises tactically, comments critically, and understands the game's emotional architecture. When the scene at the net looked messy, viewers needed an interpreter, someone divorced enough from both players to be objective, but familiar enough with elite tennis to speak credibly. He wasn't serving up hot takes to inflame clicks. Instead, he offered an analytical vantage. Match intensity breeds heat, but doesn't always mean hatred. At once consoling and illuminating. Echoes of past controversies, Shelton's history of speaking out. Shelton isn't exactly new to making tennis headlines beyond his serve. Earlier in 2025, at the Australian Open, he publicly criticized Australian media and broadcasters for asking forced, awkward questions in player interviews, drawing praise on Reddit for voicing concerns many players felt. Sportskeeda. +4. Reddit. +4. PFSN. +4. He's built a reputation as someone unafraid to speak plainly about the game, off-court as well as on it. That willingness to speak up, combined with his aggressive style on court, puts him in sharp relief, and sometimes brings friction with fans, opponents, or media. Gilbert's intervention becomes all the more important in that context, a signal that yes, Shelton's intensity is real, but so is his effort to de-escalate and clarify. The larger cultural moment, respecting emotional boundaries. As tennis evolves, so does how players, media, and fans perceive behavior. The era of canned, emotionless politeness is giving way to fusing raw on-court passion with articulate off-court reflection. That means gestures may be scrutinized more sharply, interviews framed more dramatically, and social media commentary intensified. Players like Shelton and Gauff, young, outspoken, active on platforms, are carving out a new generation, one that is expressive and sometimes provocative. Critics ask if that's arrogance. Supporters claim authenticity. Amid that shifting paradigm, voices like Gilbert's offer contextual ballast. Emotion is neither inherently good nor bad. It just is, and deserves to be interpreted before sensationalized. What it means for Goff, Shelton, and tennis's mental script. Gilbert's relationship with Goff underscores the complexity. Having coached Goff to her first slam, but parted ways amid growing strategic differences and her evolving style. Reuters. +1. Reddit. +1. He's someone invested in elite women's tennis and its mental stakes. Shelton's bond with Goff is warm, friendly, and mutual. She praised him social media. He's praised her back. Sportskeeda. Though they compete in different draws, their attitudes, candid, competitive, curious, mirror each other. Gilbert's voice bridges those worlds. He brings respect to both players and signals that they aren't just mindless rage machines. They're self-aware athletes navigating pressure, media, and passion. Through the lens. Why we consume controversy. Why did this incident, ultimately resolved in a handshake, become so disproportionately magnified? 2 words. Narrative appetite. We crave stories, conflict. We chase headlines. We want drama, even if the match itself, or its emotions, were explained within minutes. Clips dripped out online, tweet threads sparked opinions, and before long Shotgun takes dominated coverage. Gilbert's intervention is a countercurrent, a reminder that the match mattered far more than the 10 seconds afterward. It's a plea not to substitute instant viral clips for deeper comprehension. In essence, don't mistake emotional heat for personal coldness.